The thing about, guys like Kovalev, guys that are big punchers, his nickname is the Krusher. So when things get rough, what is he going to try to do? He's going to try to crush. He's not going to think about a game plan. He's not going to listen to what his coach is telling him. He's going to go back to what he knows, which is fight hard. And then that's going to make it even worse. So he's going to go back to who he is because that's all he knows. And guys with that kind of reputation, they can't fathom really anything else happening other than them knocking a guy out or my power being the determining factor. Like it's in them. They can't think of anything else. And that's why I appreciate and love my coach because I never thought about it like this until he explained it. He said, I don't get enamored with what you do well, Dre. He said, I coach you. I start at your weaknesses where I see you can get beat. That's where we work. The strengths will work on that. I see that. That is what it is. But he said, I coach you from where you can be beat. And a lot of coaches don't. They get enamored with the power. And you listen to his coach. That's all he's talking about. He's talking about his strengths. He's talking about his strengths. He's talking about his strengths. He's not really acknowledging us. He'll give us a token compliment, but he'll acknowledge everything Kovalev, which is fine. And that's the game plan they got to go with. But when it gets rough, that's what they're going to resort to. But then the problem is when somebody hits you back. Now what? When being the Krusher isn't working, now what?
Andre, he has showed those shades of cutters with Bernard Hopkins that he can box. I mean, a lot of people see you as a young version of Bernard Hopkins. He has done that with an older version of Bernard Hopkins. So what makes you so sure that he could fall in love with the Krusher character that you're talking about? I mean, he has shown the elements of boxing with Bernard Hopkins.
I mean, he comes from, the Eastern Bloc system. He comes from, a good boxing background. So he's technically sound, he can box, and, he can do multiple things in the ring. We're not ignorant of that, but ultimately, that's who he is. That's who he is. I put it like this, if he had to pick whether he was going to depend on power in this fight or his boxing ability, I guarantee he'd pick Hopkins. That's what's in his mind.
He's picked boxing with Hopkins. Why wouldn't he pick boxing?
I'm not Bernard Hopkins.
Oh shit, we're in the wrong place.
And no disrespect to Hopkins, but I'm not 40 years old. I'm 49, almost 50. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. So you may be right, but I'm not that individual. You know what I mean? I'm not Bernard Hopkins, and if he can stand up with me and go skill for skill, it's gonna make that much more of a great fight. But ultimately, I think we all can agree that that's who he is, and that's what makes us happen.
Where do you think you are in your career right now? You've been off, had some layoffs. Are you at the top of your game? Will we see the best version of Andre Ward in November? Where are you? I think that's what I always try to be in big moments. I think my career that's what I've shown. I try to really make sure that I rise to the occasion. That's really important to me in the biggest moments. Regardless of what's said, how people feel, whether they think I'm a winner or lose. I just try to always rise to the occasion, and I don't think November 19th could be any. Do you feel like you're better now than you were before, or are you just different?
It's tough to say. I mean, I've matured a lot in the ring. I think I'm a little bit more efficient. As you get older, there's not a lot of wasted energy, a lot of unnecessary things that you do when you're younger. So I think from that standpoint, I'm better. But I certainly haven't gotten worse. I don't think so. That's a good thing.
Andre, as you say, from that standpoint, you feel you're better. I don't think anyone can argue that, but somewhat to the layoff.
Those butts again, man.
Someone to the layoff and the promotional disputes. A lot of people have seemed to unseat you of your #1 pound-for-pound ranking. Do you think that's unfair because of your inactivity or whatnot, your layoff? Do you think it's unfair to unseat you of your pound?
Man, I can't get into whether it's fair or not. Life isn't fair, and there's certainly a lot of things in boxing that's not fair. You got to learn how to deal with it. And the best response that I can have to that is those that do have a vote. My goal and my motivation is to leave them without excuse. Because, like we just talked about the first question, we talked about layoff and lawsuit, probably 4 or 5 times just since we've been in here like 15 minutes. That's not where my focus is. I only remember those things when it's brought up. my mission has always been to be the best, and I can look at the pound for pound list, and I may have an opinion, like, man, how did he get there? Why did that guy? I stopped doing that a long time ago. It's about leaving people without a reason or an excuse not to put you there, but they can't deny it. They can't deny it. So I can't say that.